No, they cannot take they will not be able to take your assets when you fight against the straw man. All you have to do, excuse me, all you have to do with the straw man is, to start your stop on everything is take your picture of your face, okay, like in a passport situation, and then go to a printing shop and say, can I get 250 cards made up of this, and this is my, John Paul Jones, you could say John Paul Jones, or you could just say, you can go with your given name that was given to you, or you go with another name that you like you want to name yourself what you like to name yourself. And it could be galactic, it could be, like there's stargazers, there's star seeds, or whatever you want. Start identifying, all these people going around there identifying, well, I'm a cat, or I'm a dog, or come on. They know the power that you have, but that was that bullshit that was going on there was all for the retards, right? And then that whole conception planted in your brain that, who's going to name themselves a dog or a cat? That's just ridiculous, right? But it's okay, I'm just saying is that we can name ourselves what we want to name ourselves. You don't want to name yourself a dog or a cat, but what I'm saying is that, pick a nice name that you want. You can only just go with your first name. You can identify yourself. Well, who's saying you can't? Is that some kind of, are they saying, well, that's false identity, or is that, is that a crime to be impersonating? You're not impersonating anybody. You're identifying yourself as who you are. This is all part of the God's kingdom, right? Did he have 7 was there 7 kings and 7 kingdoms? I don't know. This is all before, the rats got a hold of all this and manipulated everything. These rats are as evil as they get, and it's all about, they wanted control so they can have all the money and all the assets. That's all. It's all about the money. And now they're freaking out because we're taking control of our own destiny. They're freaking out because they do not have control on us anymore. Yes, it's me. You should just, different cause, you seem to have a urgency. Usually you can be calm. I'm having an urgency because I want to be paid like everybody. Okay? I want my investments to come in. And the faster I can wake up everybody to get into the program, to take your money out of their system, is the faster we're going to get this movement going. I can tell you one thing, that silver, once it reaches $50+ it's going to be very, very hard for the banks to buy all and do the shorts that they've been doing, buy all the stock up and then, sell it on the short sale. Now, the reason why is because it's going to be too hard to buy, too hard to, and first of all, it's going to be too hard to find. That's why they're using paper, because they can't be lugging around all this silver, in stockpiles, physically moving it around. They're just moving it on paper. It's another counterfeit way, because all that paper is all counterfeit. But they're moving it around to manipulate the market. And there is nothing, listen, I'm only getting, what do you call it? I'm only getting, or knowing that it's an urgency, because I am passionate about getting this thing finished. I want it to get finished. And like I said, with the silver and everything going on right now, it's at 52.16, and we won't see what silver is going to do until Monday morning here in Western Canada. So I'm assuming these, the stock markets and whatever are coming out of Hong Kong and whatever's happening down there. Now, unfortunately, central banks are in the three big major areas. But I can tell you right now that Russians do not have any central banks in their country. They are all, inside country controlled, and they have to follow their constitution. But China and the United States and India are, fighting epic battles with their central banks to get them cleaned out. That's why Vietnam's pretty much got all their corruption cleaned up. They're very, very efficient in what they do. And because they want to release that dong. They want to, have it all revaluated so their country can be as rich as what it was before they were invaded in 1958, right? Thank you. Yes, I'm not AI, okay? It's just the imagination of some people. Yes, I mean, it doesn't matter what you invest in the foreign currencies. Invest in whatever you want, But just remember, Vietnamese dong will probably, if you hit the redemption center, will go 10 to 1. That means $10 or 10 dong for every $1 American dollar that comes in. And you will be paid in a Western kingdom currency. Okay? It's not going to be American dollars or Canadian. That's all old. That's all cabal money. It's all phony bullshit, and people are still handling like it's some kind of almighty God, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, the med beds are very safe. Yes, I know. I get it, Joan. The negative comments are meant to shut me up, and I try to ignore them, but I want to let them little rats know that they're not going to be part of the new world that we walk into. Negativity will not be accepted in the new world. And you just go talk to, King John Smarty about that. He's very, very real. He's showed me things that is definitely off planet. So follow him. Yeah, he's a galactic, and but he's only doing what what Source tells him to do. So there is a plan in the making, and all I say to all the Patriots and Starseeds and light workers, stay close to Source. Stay connected with your God, and everything's going to be just fine, right? Negative is being involved deeply in what is going on around you right now. Don't get involved with it. Detach yourself from all of it, right? I know we still have to drive cars to get around. I know that we still have to use these stupid smartphones that look back at us and record everything that we're doing. I get it. There are things out there, but that still connects us with the Matrix. But how else are we going to do these things when we don't have the new technology presented to us yet, right? Including the money, which is the most important. That's what they're working on now. They're working on all this right now, right? Okay. I know it's real with the banks because they're offloading ATMs they owned. Why are they doing that? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on, right? Lots of stuff going on. The banks are preparing for their new duties. The banks are preparing because they've been told by the military, right? 1 second. Okay, so the banks are preparing for what is about to come. The smart ones that are in there. They know their cabal. they know that if they do not assimilate with the Patriots, that they're going to put locks on their doors, and all your money that is in their banks, as far as deposits go, will be safe, and they'll come online because they have all the Patriots and the Space Force and NSA has all your emails. Okay, they can connect with everybody at any time, and they have very, very many good people waiting to make connection and get you presented through the redemption centers with your new phone and your card and all that other stuff. And there will be, the banks that are left open will have the new funding in there to be able to use your new cards through your biometrics to do that. I mean, we're not just flipping, with new phones. We are coming on with a whole brand new system. And that's a huge task, right? Okay, so there will be the QFS will be all set up for you, plus maybe the XLM or XRP will be set up as well. They have to do that because there has to be a digital money for your new wallet. And that, it's all being driven by Odin, which is there's 3 QFS computers on the planet. One in Asia, one in North America, and one in Europe. And that's where it is. I mean, there could be end up, well, I know there's going to end up being 7 kingdoms. Okay, so each QFS computer will run, 1 or 2 or 3 kingdoms, right? I was born in Mexico, but raised in the United States. What is going to happen? Okay, let me just clarify something. If you are you got nothing to worry about if you were born in Mexico and you've lived in the United States all your life and you have documentation of the United States, whatever, you got nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. What the ones that should worry about it are the illegals that are there in another country illegally. It's the same as me. When I'm in the Philippines, if I'm there 6 months, when I do leave, I have to pay a penalty to get out of the country, right? I mean, it's not much, and I'd much rather do it that way than pay what they're asking me to pay, or to have a landed immigrant visa or a foreign retiree visa that I have to pay $400 American every year. That's bullshit. I only pay a fraction of that, paying the penalty after 6 months being there. So I mean, but I still have to leave. My money will, because where I was born is here, will be coming out and, will be funneled through an American or a Canadian or kingdom, however it is, from my place of birth, which is Vancouver, right? So, but I'm still Canadian, right? But I live half of my life is in the Philippines, just the way it is. Okay. Okay, so I guess that's all for today, folks. I want to just thank everybody. And if you got any questions that I missed, I apologize. And what we're going to do is you get your questions ready, keep them in capital letters, and I will definitely do my best to get an answer for you, okay?